Okay, people, Santa's coming to town.
Santa! Oh my God! Santa here? I know him.
And now, it's time for another episode of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show. A show made by 12s from around the world, for 12s around the world. I'm Mozette, and here is your host and my dad, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church of Seahawk Positivity.
Yes! Welcome, one and all, to episode 821, the Hockey Days and Rams edition of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show, as your NFC playoff-bound Seattle Seahawks get ready to take on Los Angeles Rams. So please, put your tray table up and place your seatbelts back in the full upright position. Keep your arms and legs inside the podcast at all times. Settle in with the desired scent or beverage of your choice. And what can I tell you? He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. The claws is coming from inside the house. Run! So glad to be back here for our 196th episode. Hard to believe. We'll get it right one of these times. So let's see who the posse is for this episode as we try to get right. First, the yin to my yang, Matt from Mary Olding. Hi, Matt.
Good morning, Moses. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, sir?
I'm a little disappointed, actually.
You are? Do tell.
Well, I didn't make the Pro Bowl list, and I have to say I don't know anybody that can cook Chinese food or puddings or cakes as well as I did, but I did not make the list.
Pudding Hawk should be on that Pro Bowl list. I agree.
On that list. I should be catering for the event of Pro
I agree.
Bowl.
I agree. And you know who should be on that list? The Shadow Hawk, and that is our new sound, Will. Hi, Will.
Hi, Moses. How are you?
Wonderful. How are you, sir?
Funny you should mention lists, because I just got a certified letter today, and I am on the naughty list. So,
oh, are you really?
Apparently, Santa was watching me watch the Rams game a few weeks back. So,
well, you know, Santa's just going to have to be prepared to the fact that we are going to root for our teams very loud and obnoxiously.
Fat judgmental bastard.
No kidding. Someone who's not a fat judgmental bastard, and that is Dustin. Hi, Dustin. Hi, Dustin. Hi, Dustin.
Hey. Hello, how you guys doing?
Good morning. Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I had muted my mic for a second, and then
right.
I lost the unmute button for a second.
That's fine. That's fine. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. Traveled over to Wenatchee, so I've been driving all day. I'm a little tired, but you know, yeah, I'm here.
How about Kona? How's Kona, our 12-man Fan Jam Show mascot?
She is she's here, and yeah, she's not very dog friendly. So I've been trying to get her to I've been training her around this golden retriever that lives here, and she's doing surprisingly well, way better than I expected. She was able to get close enough to where she sniffed the other dog, and so that was great. Normally, you know, she gets that close and she wants to bite their heads off. This time though, she did bite the other dog though. At one point, yeah, I kept getting her close, and then we'd go away, and then she couldn't stand there for too long, and she bit the dog on the butt for no reason. Just
maybe it's really saying hi.
Yeah,
consenting adults. I mean,
right? Scared the hell out of the other dog. It had no idea. Wasn't looking at her. Wasn't doing anything. Kona's just kind of looking at it, and then decided, I'm going to bite you. And just bit her on the butt.
Dustin, if I had $1 for every time I was in a park and something strange came up to me and bit me on the ass, I would be a millionaire.
Nice.
No doubt. No doubt.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. Well, on that note, let's go ahead and see how this show is going to run, Fat Tony.
Very well. Let's do this thing.
All right, let's get this show started. There are 4 quarters and a halftime, like a real NFL football game. Quarter one's news, we're going to talk about the Pro Bowlers that have been selected this week for your Seattle Seahawks. Quarter two, we'll go over last week's victory over the Washington football team. Halftime is, of course, the best Seahawk-themed trivia game on the internet, referred to 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia.
Of the world.
Of the world.
Of the world.
Of the world. And I believe, was Dustin our winner last week?
No idea.
Yeah.
Barely remember it.
I barely remember it. It was Dustin, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
It was Dustin, yes. And we're going to use the second half to take all of our information devoted into that game between the Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams coming up on Sunday. We will have quarter three. We'll have our injury reports. We'll have our weather reports. We'll have our fashion reports. We'll have a sermon of Seahawk positivity. We'll put all that together and make our predictions, prognostications, and game balls for that very game in the fourth quarter. But before we do all that, we'd like to remind you to please like, share, and subscribe to the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel. Press please press join. Please join our Facebook group, 12 Man Fan Jam Show. We have a great game day thread on there every game day during the game. We're also on Twitter at Seahawk Positivity. Email 12manfanjamshow@gmail.com. You can also download this very podcast for your enjoyment on iTunes and Podbean if you so desire. But before we start the first quarter, since it is, it is the holiday season, and I want to kick in some little festive music here. There you go. Guys, Seahawk Claus did stop by earlier at the Seahawk Positivity Studios, and he did get you some presents. So here you go, guys. Maddie, you're first, okay?
I love presents.
Here you go, Maddie. Rip that baby open, buddy.
I've got sellotape.
It's an easy fix, do-it-yourself chair repair kit.
That's not a gift really. It's a necessity in this
Yeah,
house.
it's including not exclusive to, but including some duct tape, a metal rod, and a floor mat to put on the floor to catch your ass when it falls on the ground after your chair breaks. So, congratulations, Maddie.
Thanks.
Perfect gift.
Thanks for that.
Thanks, Seahawk Claus, not me.
Thanks, Seahawk Claus, for the non-gift of a chair repair.
Next is Will. Well, here you go.
Is it a pony?
Yeah, well, fight. Get that thing open. Use your teeth if you have to. All right. Hey, it's a Baby Yoda hand sanitizer dispenser. Isn't that awesome? You push down the head there, and that's not where I would have had the hand sanitizer come out of, but I didn't make the thing, so enjoy that. Get hand sanitizer out of your Baby Yoda. So congratulations, Will.
Thanks.
And now Dustin. Yep. Dustin, are you there?
I am here. I was just trying to mess with the volume on my mic a little bit. I was having some issues, so
I think I'm good. Are you ready? Here's your present. There it is.
Ready.
I know it's what you wanted. It's a pair of Russell Wilson autographed mini stilts.
That's awesome.
It's going to give you at least 8 inches of height, so you can almost be tall enough to reach the big boy table at Christmas dinner. So be excited about that.
It's very thoughtful.
It is. And Seahawk Claus brought those in for you guys. So
Seahawk Claus needs to really have a word with himself, because I didn't ask for any of these gifts. I didn't need a chair repair at all. I just bought a new bloody chair.
Well, you never know when you might need it. He's thinking of you.
Probably right.
And with that being said, let's get to the first quarter. All right, usually this is where we talk about the news with our news hound, Will, but the biggest news this week, of course, was the fact that 7 Seahawks were given the designation of Pro Bowlers. And real quick, that list is quarterback Russell Wilson, linebacker Bobby Wagner, safety Jamal Adams, safety Quandre Diggs, wide receiver DK Metcalf, long snapper Tyler Ott, and fullback special teamer Nick Bellore, which is unbelievable. I think that's the most they've had, the most in franchise history, and is tied for the most in the league this year with Baltimore, Kansas City, and Green Bay. So congratulations to those guys. Will, who on here, or who's someone that maybe didn't get a nod in the Pro Bowl that you thought maybe should, or who are you most happiest to see get a Pro Bowl nod?
Well, Dennis, it's not so long ago that I remember, you may remember a guy by the name of Boone Stutz.
Yes.
He was our long snapper back in 2007, I believe, and made every single long snap interesting in a bad way.
Yes.
Those footballs would go flying all over the place except for where they needed to go. So the following year, we actually spent a draft pick on a long snapper, guy by the name of Tyler Schmidt.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Had one great preseason game, never played another down of football again. Turned out he had a back problem, which somehow all of our medical guys missed.
Right.
So, long snappers are like plumbers. If you are even paying attention to them, you've got a problem. If you need one and don't have one, you have a problem.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for Tyler Ott getting the nod.
I am too.
Because he's been here a few years now. I don't think he's had a single bad snap, not a single moment where you're thinking, oh, Ott screwed up or this happened or that happened. the guy's just been as dependable as they come. And you know what? It's a shame that he doesn't get to go to wherever they hold the Pro Bowl. I stopped caring because they're not even having a game this year. But the guy deserves the recognition, and I'm glad he got a Pro Bowl nod this year.
I agree. I totally agree. And Gresham, I remember Gresham with the Super Bowl team. And
him too.
I remember Gresham had a Twitter, and he could never get over the fact that people followed the long snapper from a football team. He thought it was the funniest thing in the world that people actually care what he was doing because he was a long snapper. And J.P. Darche, how could we forget J.P., the amazing Frenchman that hiked the ball for years in the Holmgren area as a long snapper.
Yeah, he's the guy we cut to make room for Boone Stutz. So that really was not a good idea.
No. But yeah, congratulations for sure. For Mr. Ott, for Tyler Ott, for sure. Matt, is there anyone that you want to give a shout out to, or one that you think should have been on there? Or
well, I do think Michael Dixon has been somewhat missed. I mean, he's had 51 punts for 2,519 yards, longest being 67 yards. 27 of them within the 20. I mean, I just don't know. I think I don't know what you've got to do sometimes to get on this list.
Yeah.
But he was even better than he was in 18, for heaven's sake. So I don't know. I just think that there's an element of that missing there. But of course, to get 7 anyway is awesome. I mean, I don't. The Pro Bowl is a bit of a to me. But,
sure.
For those individual players, I'm sure it's feeling to get that recognition. Of course Bobby Wagner has to be there, of course he does, how can he not be? But Wilson's there, all the names that I would expect to be there, apart from, as I say, Michael Dixon potentially.
And Dixon, I remember in 2018, I remember seeing the stat, and I don't know where it's at this year, but in 2018 there were 10 punts in the entire NFL that were over 50 yards that were down inside the 10. He had 5 of them. I mean, that shows you how and he's been doing that. He did that last game. He had like a 55-yard punt that landed at the 4.
Well, I mean, he's only 2 yards off his longest from 2018. So he's on 2018 form, but for whatever reason, he's been overlooked this time.
Yeah. And you said Wagner. Wagner has now matched the Pro Bowl selections totals of guys by the name of Cortez Kennedy and Steve Largent. And only Hall of Fame left tackle Waller Jones has more than Wilson and Kennedy with 9. It's amazing. It's amazing stuff.
So that's every year since 2014 for him.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, number 4. Dustin, what are your thoughts on the Pro Bowl and the guys? Anybody you want to shout out to, or someone you think should be there?
I think we pretty much nailed who should be there. I was a little surprised to see, pleasantly surprised, I guess, to see Diggs was on there.
Me too.
Jamal Adams has kind of overshadowed him this year with all the exciting things he's been doing and how breaking that record for most sacks for a safety and stuff like that. He's been the guy that everybody talks about. Diggs, it just seems like he was just having a decent year because you weren't talking about him screwing up a lot. But apparently he's played better than I thought he did.
Yeah, he is playing better.
Yeah, not to mention early on too, we're giving up passing yards left and right, like at a historic level. So it's interesting to me that he made it as well. So good for him.
Oh, I'm glad too, and I'm with you too. I'm a little surprised by that one, but I'm happy about that one because we felt last year he kind of got snubbed a little bit, and so this year maybe he's getting his just desserts. But it's amazing we have 2 Pro Bowl safeties, and that is something to be very thankful for. And so. That even though they get up all those passing yards, those safeties are playing pretty well apparently. And we've got a linebacker, and we've got 2 guys on offense, and we got 2 guys special teams. Really well-rounded representation of the team overall. So the only guy I want to bring up is Mr. Myers, who is 20 for 20 for field goals and has kicked a 61-yarder. I know he's missed a couple extra points, but I thought he might get a nod, but maybe they thought, 7's enough. Maybe they didn't want to give us too many. I don't know. And kicker's probably pretty thick to get through. I imagine there's guys with those numbers or better that are kicking the ball. But Myers certainly has had a great year for the Seahawks, especially after everyone last year was ready to run him out of town, and this year he's just become automatic, almost a Hauschka type of record going into this game with the Rams. So. If that's any other final comments on the Pro Bowl before we move on.
I'm glad they're not playing it.
Yeah. So I'm glad it's not happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. It'll be nice to get recognition for these guys, but yeah, I agree with you. I'm glad they're not playing it too. Well, listen, before we go to the end of the first quarter, I do need some people's help here. I am looking for some Christmas gifts, last minute Christmas gifts. So if you don't mind, I have a list I'd like to read real quick. If you see these gifts, would you please contact us at Seahawk Positivity Production Studios? The Carson Wentz Easy Bake Turnover Oven. Has anyone seen that yet?
Hard to have turnovers when you're on the bench.
How about the DK Metcalf Face Planner? Anything?
Nice.
The Russell Wilson Cookware Set.
I've already got that.
The Alex Smith Bionic Leg Doll.
Ooh.
No?
That's
The replacement.
The Minnesota Viking ship that always sinks. The Miami Dolphin Fishnet and Tuna Grill. How about the Bill Belichick joke book? Have we seen that yet?
Yeah, not so much. Not so much.
Good.
What about the Ryan Fitzpatrick clipboard holder? Would that be? Or the DK Metcalf I Am Your Daddy board game. I think that's a good one.
The game of life.
The Pete Carroll chewing gum pocket protector. Anything?
No, well, there's not even things. What you do?
Nope.
I mean,
They're not? Well, wait, I saw this on the air. How about the Andy Dalton red rifle with a sight that is never accurate? Is that there?
No, that was on eBay.
The Atlanta Falcons Special Teams Rulebook Onside Kicks for Dummies. Has anyone seen that one?
No.
Well, they definitely haven't. They certainly haven't.
The Jacksonville Jaguar fans matching paper bag face masks. No?
Nope. Maybe a Party City.
Well, I got a couple more, but we'll do it later. Okay, that's the end of the first quarter.
It's the end of the first quarter, bitches.
All right, coming up on this special Hockadays Rams edition of your 12-Man Fan Jam show. Lots of show left. Rams game, weather, fashion, injury reports, predictions. But next we talk about last week's win over Washington. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
You got tools. Santa paid good money for those tools. Tools you have, you can't build garbage. You are garbage. Hit the bricks, pal, and beat it because you are going out.
Hey, our tools are weak.
Your tools are weak. The effing tools are weak. You're weak. I've been in this business for 615 years.
Hey, what's your name?
Screw you. That's my name.
Holy shit, it's the second quarter.
How about the New York Jets doormat?
No.
No, the Bruce
No.
Arians baby bitches a lot doll?
You have a lot of these.
I do. Philip Rivers baby girl making chemistry set. Do you have that one?
That's sexist.
A little bit. The Cleveland Browns dog pound doggy choke collar? No?
They haven't choked yet this year.
The Green Bay cheesehead grater? No?
But these were last year's gifts, weren't they? We've been through this about 50 times.
What about the Las Vegas Raiders black hole of playoff dreams? No?
Predictable.
No, you're getting that confused with the Jerry Jones glory hole set.
Oh, the glory. Yeah, that's on here. Hold on. Wait a minute. I got that here somewhere. Wait. Yeah, here it is. The Jerry Jones glory hole hide and seek game.
Where did you even get this list from?
Apparently the Island of Misfit Toys is watching too much Rudolph.
I got it from some kids. It's from the internet. It has to be true.
Got to be true. It's from the internet. No, it hasn't.
Okay.
No, it's not true. It's on the internet. We're on the internet. That's not true.
That's
Good
true.
point. Good point.
But what is true is we are in the second quarter of this wonderful episode of your 12-Man Fan Jam show. The best pregame tradition since leaving out milk and cookies for a home invader. That's right. That's what you're doing, folks. You're inviting people to break into your house with cookies and milk. All right, in this quarter.
Like a good idea, actually.
Yeah.
If they're bringing their own cookies, I'm on it.
I got cookies and milk. I'm not gonna break in. I'm going to break in. Take your milk and cookie, your mookies and
Your
cook,
mookies and kilk.
your mookies and kilk, and then we're going to leave the house. So while I get my my lips fixed here, we're going to discuss the Seahawks win over Washington, 20-15. Matt, what are your thoughts on that game, sir?
Well, against a very good defense, I think our ability to run the ball was clearly evident.
Yeah.
Good strong showing from Carson and Hyde. Wilson obviously has got 52 yards because obviously he had that, he ran for like half the field for no run, Wilson, run.
Yeah.
And he
50-yarder or something like that?
37, 38 yards.
Oh, yeah.
But no, I mean, that was again, we were on the game thread. So if anyone's listening and you don't know where to go on a game day and you can't watch the game or whatever, come on the 12 Man Fan Jam Facebook game thread. We'll keep you completely up to date with all the latest memes necessary.
Yes, absolutely.
To get you through this game. But we were on there, and it was just funny because it was just one of those moments where I think I was slightly ahead of you lot in terms of what I'm seeing on the screen, because sometimes I'm normally about 3 or 4 seconds behind. But I was like, run, Wilson! And Carrie's like, what? We'll see you in a minute. But no, our ability to run the ball I think was really good. Obviously, unfortunate interception for Wilson, but whatever.
181 yards rushing, by the way.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's a good day. How many did they get? I don't even know how many they got, but
they got 84.
Very long. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Good
stuff. I think I don't think Wilson was sacked at all either. I think that was everything. I think the offensive line did their thing.
Yes.
Which is what we'd expect. If anything, if I was to be critical, because you know me, I can be a bit critical of things.
Sometimes. Yeah.
I think I do find when we're on 3rd down and you need 2 yards, I've no idea why suddenly we abandon the run game, which has been working to get us, 5, 6, 7 yards every play. But apparently on 3rd down, it just doesn't work. I don't know why that's the case. I think they need to keep. If you're able to run it down their throats, you should be able to do it on 3rd down as much as you can on 1st down.
Yeah, 181 yards on 26 attempts. That's amazing. Yeah, it's just amazing. Dustin, what are your thoughts on the game? That was pretty good.
Well, the defensive line of the Redskins is very solid, and I thought they did a good job of neutralizing them with their game plan coming out, with the way they were running the ball and then all the short passes they were doing. They weren't giving the Redskins defensive line enough time to get to Russell Wilson because the ball was coming out too fast.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice to see that happening, from this side of things for once. For a while there, we had quarterbacks getting rid of the ball so quick we couldn't get anywhere near him, and it was frustrating. So it's nice to put that frustration on somebody else.
Right.
Yeah, and not only did they do that, but it was effective. They game planned it well, and the only real gripe I would have about it is that they seem to lack a killer instinct.
Yes.
They take their foot off the pedal, or they don't execute, or they think they got this. I don't know what it is. Something goes haywire when they get up big, and they do not close it out. Right. So at least not in the way that they should. They let the teams come back in, get into it, and then they go, oh man, we have to win this on the final play of the game now. So right. I'd like for that not to happen as much.
Yeah, I agree. I don't want to point out Washington because that defensive front is incredibly young and they're incredibly gifted and they're going to be so good for so long. They're going to be intimidatingly bad news for us for years in the NFC. But I wonder, and maybe if I'm wrong, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but it seemed like we kind of preyed on that. I don't want to say they were young. I want to say they were undisciplined. But they didn't hold their corners very well, and they got caught cheating a little bit, like Chase Young, who's just amazing. But a couple more than 2 of those runs were around his corner where he had stunted inside to be aggressive and didn't hold his side, and then it wound up being a 30, 40, or even I think a 50-yard touchdown run was based on that. But it seemed like our game plan was to kind of run to the outside and kind of prey on their aggressiveness a little bit, and it really seemed to pay off. But that defensive line of Washington is just amazing. They're all young and they're all first-round picks, and they all play like first-round picks, and they have really got something special over there. Will, what are your thoughts on the game?
Well, that was the kind of game I wanted to see. I mean, Matt and Dustin both touched on the game plan, just taking the. I thought this was probably one of our better jobs of scheming.
Yes.
Offensively, instead of trying to do 5 and 7 step drops against that defensive line with a backup right tackle, and giving up all sorts of sacks and pressures and whatnot. So that was really impressive. And the game, honestly, it was close on that final drive, and it was closer than any of us really felt comfortable about, but. That Russell Wilson interception, which was, that was a bit of a fluke. I mean, there was a good play by their defensive lineman. He'd tip it up in the air, they get the interception. But we were actually driving the ball pretty well up until then. We got 3 big passes to DK Metcalf. We were already practically in field goal range. That fluke interception doesn't happen. We probably get at least 3 points out of that drive, which makes it a different game towards the end because obviously we've got more points than just 20, and we don't give them the ball right at midfield either for that next drive. So, stuff like that's going to happen. And when you're playing a game plan like this, where it is by necessity a little bit more conservative, a little bit more not taking the big shots, but just taking what the defense gives you, that's just part of the drill. And our defense, for all the crap they've been given this year, and a lot of it justifiable, they've made a habit of stepping up at the end of games when we needed to, even when they were giving up yards and points at a historic rate. I mean, Patriots game, Vikings game. There's been a lot of games this year where it's come down to our defense needing to make a stand, and they've done it. And they did it again with 3 sacks on that final drive.
What was this? You had a stat about 360 yards. They were getting 360 yards passing per game. And over the last, 4 games, it's gone down to 180 or something like that?
Yep. And, part of that's probably due to the competition we've been playing.
That's true.
Obviously, we're not going up against the best of the best. But it's still pretty impressive. And I think it bodes well for the future, even when we play the Rams, get into the playoffs, play teams like maybe the Buccaneers or the Packers or whatnot. So, and getting Dunlap in has been a huge help.
Yes.
The whole team has just been playing more disciplined. These guys are making plays.
Yes.
DJ Reed may have been the best offseason acquisition we made this year.
No kidding. I know, Will, you were excited about him from day one.
Well, Pete Carroll, and you know what he wants for outside cornerbacks. They got to be over 6 feet. They got to have a 32-inch wingspan.
Yeah.
And yet DJ Reed is playing so well, he's going to be starting even after Trey Flowers comes back.
Yes, which is just great. He was spectacular. There were so many good players on defense in this game, and I know there was such a wide gap between the record. The Seahawks were looking at maybe being the worst pass defense in NFL history at one point in this year. And now they're only like 6 yards away from the bottom, which I know you're still at the bottom, but considering they were about 50 yards away from everybody, and now they're only like 6 yards away from the bottom, is a massive improvement on that defense. And DJ Reed was just lights out in that game. One time I kept going to him over and over, and he kept breaking up pass after pass after pass. And it was just spectacular. Everyone really played. The defense played very well. And yeah, it wasn't Alex Smith, but they still played very well, and it was 20-3 for most of that game until the fourth quarter, and then they had to make things a little interesting. They got to learn how to finish people off when they're up 20-3, and not think, well, I can just sit back and wait for things to happen. But hopefully they will. But a win's a win, and it got us into playoffs, and now it puts us in a position where we can play for the division title. So with that being said, let's go ahead and go to our 2-minute warning.
Holy shit, it's a 2-minute warning!
All right, our 2-minute warning where we check our Posse Prediction Challenge for our predictions from last week. First on the scores. The score was 20-15. 3 points to Matt. He had 20 Seahawk points. And also 3 points to Jimmy for 20 Seahawk points, which is pretty good. And Jimmy's score of 20-16 instead of 20-15, that's pretty good, Jimmy. So you get a point for the best score. Prognostications. We got a point for Mike. We got a point for Jimmy. We got a point for Dustin. We got a point for Chris. And ladies and gentlemen,
here we go.
By popular request, it's time to celebrate.
Oh, yeah.
Because Carrie Ann got a prognostication. And she couldn't stop talking about it. So congratulations, celebrate everybody. Carrie Ann finally off the Schneid prognostications. Yahoo! Way to go, Carrie Ann! Prognostication was yours this week as well. So, all right, we celebrated.
That's it.
Game balls. 1 point to Mark for Griffin. 1 point to Dustin for Adams. 1 point to Will for Wright. 1 point to Matt for Wagner. Offensively, there just wasn't a whole lot there. 50 yards here, 40 yards there. Just couldn't give it. The over and under was under. Point to Little Mo, Mark, Jimmy, Dustin, Will, Chris, Matt, and Moses. Individual scores for this week. Jimmy was 6. Matt with 5.
Woohoo!
Dustin with 3. Will, Chris, Mark with 2. Little Mo, Mike, Carrie, and Moses with 1. Individual scores after 14 games look like this. Jose at 29. Mike at 28. Little Mo at 28. Chris at 26. Jimmy at 25. Carrie 24. Moses 22. Will 22. Mark 19. Dustin 19. Maddie crawls out of the cellar in 18. And Andy at 16. Team scores going with 2 games in the playoffs left. It was a 30-point lead going into this. Team 12, 154. Team Posse, 126. We shaved 2 points off it. 28-point lead still.
Got him on the run now.
Just shaving away. Keep chopping wood, guys. And if you would like to try, we're going to put our predictions, prognostications, and game balls in our game day thread on 12-Man Fan Jam Show Facebook game day thread on our Facebook page. Join us there. Put your predictions on. See how you do. And we'll take this now and go to halftime.
Holy shit, it's halftime.
Oh, we got so much show ahead. Washington game information is done. We are now going to talk about the Los Angeles Rams. Have predictions for that game, but first, another fun edition of 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia. And that is coming up next.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Nixon, Comet, Cupid, Donna Dixon. Sit down, Simpson.
Yes, it's halftime, and welcome to another fun-filled edition of the best play-along Seahawk-themed trivia game show on the internet. It's time for 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia. And here's your host, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church of Seahawk Positivity.
Yes, thank you, Mia. Welcome to another fine edition of 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia.
Of the world.
Trivia game that tests the knowledge of both our posse and our listeners.
The ASMR stuff.
Our contestants are the posse themselves, Will, Matt, and Dustin. And here are the rules.
So here's how the trivia game works. There'll be 2 rounds of questions. Each contestant answers 1 question each round. If they get it correct, they get 1 point. After 2 rounds of questions, there'll be a final trivia question worth 2 points. If there's a tie after that, then the tie players go on to a special secret overtime question where the winner becomes reigning 12-Man Fan Jam Show Trivia Champion and also gets a prize chosen especially for them. As an added bonus to those listening on the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel, the questions and possible answers will be displayed on your screen so you, the viewer and listener, can play along as well. If you do, please let us know how you did on the questions. Remember, there's no Googling, no phone a friend, and please, no wagering. However, there is a lifeline. Before taping this show, my 2 charming Seahawk fan children, Mosette and Little Mo, did take the quiz as well. If the contestants want to know what the kids said, they can ask that but once and only once during the entire game show and only in the first 2 rounds. Now let's get ready to play 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia.
Alright, y'all know the rules. Oh, that was funny. Oh. Okay. Dustin, you won last week, I believe.
I believe so as well.
Yeah, so would you like question 1, 2, or 3?
I'll take question 3, and Dennis gets 1 point for answering that one correctly.
Yay! A point for me. No.
Woo!
Matt, 1 or 2?
I'll take 2, please.
And that means, hey, Will.
What?
You get question 1.
Okay.
All right. Question 1. Here you go. The first time the Seahawks beat the Rams in Seattle, it was 1991. How many touchdown passes did Dave Craig throw in that game? 1, 2, or 3? Dance!
I will ask the kids.
Ooh, right out of the bat. Little Mo said 1. Mosette said 2. Nobody said 3.
I'm going to go with Mosette, say 2.
Going with Mosette and saying 2. All right. Going with Mosette and saying, well, I'm interested in the thought process there, but we'll just go with it. 'Cause it's right.
Woohoo!
Will.
Well, the trick of picking the one that the kids don't pick only works for Matt, so I had to go with 1 or 2.
Doesn't always work. I'll test that theory in a moment. It won't always work.
Well, it did work that time. You're going to test that out, huh? Because you got number 2. Here you go. You ready? Yours is about the movie, The Christmas Movie.
The Christmas movie?
Christmas Story. Sorry, Christmas Story.
Okay.
In what state does the movie The Christmas Story take place? At what state? Is it Illinois, Indiana, or Ohio? In what state does that family live from The Christmas Story? Indiana, Illinois, or Ohio?
Oh. Well, I have absolutely no idea. I don't think I've ever seen the film.
Oh, okay.
So I suppose better test it. Better ask the kids.
Here it is. Here it is. Mosette said Illinois. Little Mo said Indiana. Nobody said Ohio.
I'll say Ohio.
Oh, man. With confidence.
Oh, Buckeye State.
Oh, Buckeye State. Going with Ohio. No, it was Indiana. They actually took place in Indiana. So, yeah, who knew?
Who knew?
I think actually the place is in Ohio where they filmed, but it took place in Indiana. All right. Question 3, and that goes to Dustin.
Yes.
Dustin, the Seahawks defeated the Rams in Seattle back in 2002. Who caught the only touchdown pass for the Seahawks in that game? Darrell Jackson, Corin Robinson, or Jeremy Stevens? There's some people. Only touchdown pass in that game. Darrell Jackson, Corin Robinson, or Jeremy Stevens?
How about Jeremy Stevens? We'll go Mr. Hope Solo.
Mr. Hope Solo. Let's see. Corin Robinson. Lil Mo said Corin Robinson. Mosette said Jeremy Stevens. You said Mr. Hope Solo as well.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, it was Darrell Jackson. Sorry.
There's probably pass interference and it got called back though on him, right?
Probably. Yeah. Yeah, very, very funny. Will's got a point. Matt and Dustin, you are still scoreless in Seattle. So, Will, 4, 5, or 6?
I'll go 5.
We'll go 5. Dustin, 4 or 6? 4. And Matt will go 6. All right.
6, please.
All right. Dustin.
What?
Seahawks shut out the Rams back in Seattle in 2009. I was at that game. I remember that game quite well. How many touchdown passes did Matt Hasselbeck throw in that game? 1, 2, or 3?
Matthew Hasselbeck from the from the Seattle Seahawks?
That's the one. 2009. How many touchdown passes did he throw? 1, 2, or 3?
So we shut him out, so we probably had the ball a lot. I don't know. How about 2?
How about 2? Well, Little Mo and Mosette both said 3.
Well, good for them.
Yeah, but you said 2. Yeah, you should have said 3. It was 3.
Lame.
Sorry.
That was a weird year. We had 2 really big blowouts and then got our butts kicked the rest of the year.
Yes, I remember that.
If I had $1 for every time that happened to me, I would be a millionaire.
Twice over now.
Oh, Lord. Hey, Will?
Yes, Moses.
You familiar with the movie Christmas Vacation?
Yeah, somewhat. I've seen it.
How many lights were on the Griswold house in the movie Christmas Vacation? 10,000, 20,000, or 25,000?
Oh, man, it's been a while. Can't ask the kids. I've already done it.
Yeah.
I'll go 25.
You'll go 25. Go high or go home, right?
Go big or go home.
Go big or go home. Mosette said 25. Little Mo said 20. You said 25. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, 25. Will. Perfect evening so far. You had fire.
Man, I can't wait to see how I blow this one.
Matt, are you ready?
I think that's also one of Matt's catchphrases.
Yeah, I was just going there.
Oh, boy.
I could pay off the U.S. national debt. Carry on.
Are you ready?
No, but let's do it anyway.
All right. The Seahawks beat the Rams in 2019 in Seattle.
Woohoo.
Who had the most receiving yards in that game? Will Dissly, Tyler Lockett, or DK Metcalf? That's interesting.
It is.
It's 1-2-3, by the way. Will Dissly, Tyler Lockett, or DK Metcalf? Who had the most receiving yards of that game? Metcalf. Or as you said, Metcalf. Metcalf. Little Momos, that said Uncle Will. You said Metcalf. Wrong! It was Will. It was Uncle Will. 81.
Lordy.
Yeah, Tyler Lockett had 51. DK Metcalf 44. Well, this is interesting because Will has 2 and Matt and Dustin have none, but that's okay because you know why?
Question.
It's time for the question. We're 2 points. Possible overtime this evening.
I would say likely.
Likely. It is a number. The order will go. We'll go Matt, Dustin, and Will. It is a number. Whoever's close without going ever gets 2 points. Possible overtime. So choose wisely. Matt, are you ready? All right. Here's your question. How tall is the Christmas tree in Rockefeller Plaza in New York City?
Oh, now that had a bird on it. Is that the one that had the owl?
Okay.
Am I talking about? Is this not the tree that has the owl in it?
It's a big Christmas tree they put in Rockefeller Plaza in New York City for Christmas time.
Yeah, I'm pretty. I
Probably. How tall is it?
In what measurement?
Oh, feet, please.
Oh, feet. Okay, so we've got to go back to them. Get crayons
Sorry.
out. Feet.
Yeah.
I was going to say 40. 3, carry the 4. Make it simple for you. 77 yards.
77 feet? You mean 77 feet?
Yeah.
77 feet. 77 feet. Dustin.
No, he said yards.
Nah, we're going feet.
I was definitely going to go under if it was 77 yards.
That'd be like 241 feet, I think.
Yeah, definitely under that.
Yeah, a little bit.
But it is tall. I think I'll still go under. I'll go, what do you say, 77? I'll say 76.
I'll say 76. Will?
I will go...
1 foot tall. Being held up with an owl.
Well, you got to have the owl. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I will go 95.
95.
Feet. 95 feet, not yards.
76, 77, and 95. All right. The tree in Rockefeller Plaza in 2020 is listed as being 75 feet.
Oh!
Dustin! And we've got overtime!
That is still a damn tall tree.
Yeah, it is.
Right, I'm going to turn the mic off because I'm not involved in this.
So, yeah. Matt gets to sit back. Dustin and Will are playing for overtime. All right, here we go, gentlemen. Wow. The order will go Will first and Dustin second. And here's the question. All right. Will, here's your question. It's still about that tree in Rockefeller Center. What's the perimeter of the tree? In other words, you know the distance around it. What's the perimeter of the tree in Rockefeller Plaza, New York City? How wide is it? Will?
Okay, perimeter is distance walking around it, or
yeah, it's the distance walking around. It's not how wide it is. It's like the around it, right? Perimeter is the if you walked around it, how many feet?
Okay, let's see, pi times.
That's right. Very good. Pi d, I think. Pi times the diameter.
Yeah, so I am going to. I'm going to stick with 95 feet. What the hell?
Will's going to stick with 95. Dustin?
Like, you're talking just the tree itself, right? Not like the fence around the tree?
No. The perimeter of the tree.
Oh, it's got to be less than 95, right? 94.
94? That's not very confident.
I don't know much about trees, but I don't know.
Well, it's 75 foot high, so we know that.
Yeah.
The perimeter of the tree in Rockefeller Plaza in New York City is 45 feet.
Aha.
Knight Rider! Dustin!
Again, still a big tree.
It's still a big tree.
Very big
Congratulations. Overtime victory and halftime trivia. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you.
I know it's too quiet for you to order a trophy, so we'll just send one through through Amazon. They'll be there tomorrow.
I'm sure it will.
Congratulations, sir. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah. And this has been, of course, another crowd-pleasing, heart-stopping, overtime award-winning edition of 12 Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia
of the world.
We're right back with the second half of the show right after this. Knight Rider, take us away.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
If any of you are looking for any last-minute gift ideas for me, I have one. I like my boss right here tonight. I want him brought from his happy holiday slumber over there on Melody Lane with all the other rich people, and I want him brought right here with a big ribbon on his head. And I want to look him straight in the eye, and I want to tell him what a cheap, lying, no-good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, snake-licking, dirt-eating, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking, dog-kissing, brainless, hopeless, heartless, fat-ass, bug-eyed, stiff-legged, spotty-lipped, worm-headed sack of monkey he is. Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
Holy shit, it's the third quarter.
Hey, Dustin.
Yeah.
Congratulations on winning.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I will be answering all tree questions for the rest of the Christmas season. Just let me know if you have any.
Excellent. Well, you know, I like your logic, too. It can't be 95. It's got to be less than that, so.
That just seems like a really round tree to me.
A really round tree.
Well, there you
Richard
go.
Roundtree, it was Shaft.
Okay.
You know that tree's a bad mother.
Shut your mouth. Let's talk about Roundtree. And we're talking about the third quarter of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show. It is time to get you ready for Sunday's game between your Seattle Seahawks, your playoff-bound Seattle Seahawks, and those Los Angeles Rams. 4:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1:25 on the West Coast. And merry old England, Matt?
9:25 p.m.
9:25 p.m. So, let's see how healthy these teams are by turning to our own doctor, Dr. Dustin, with the 12-Man Fan Jam Show injury report. Dr. Dustin, tell us the news!
Doctor, give me the news!
All right, we're going to start out with the Rams this time. They're fairly healthy overall, it looks like. They had an offensive lineman, Rob Havenstein, or Havenstein, however you want to say it, has a neck problem. He was limited in practice. They had two players did not practice, one of which will not play. The other one I'm sure will. Cam Akers has an ankle injury, and he is going to be out for this game at least. So, and then Aaron Donald didn't practice either, but it wasn't injury related. And all this being said, truth be told, we're recording this on Wednesday, so it's pretty limited information on what's going on right now with the injury report. I just want to throw that out there. So
very true, very true.
There might be stuff that's different come game time or that gets added. So, all right,
your mileage may vary.
Yes. All right, then we're gonna go to the Seahawks, your Seattle Seahawks. For some reason, they put full participation on here for guys that are nursing injuries, so I'll go ahead and throw those out there. We have Pro Bowler Tyler Ott with a back injury, who is full participation. Pro Bowler Jamal Adams, who he's been nursing some injuries. Rookie Freddie Swain has a shoulder injury, but he was full practice. Ryan Neal was back at practice with his hip injury. Quarterback Jason Stanley, who, if I'm being completely honest, I have no idea who that is. He has a shoulder injury, but he was back at practice.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah. And then Carlos Hyde was full participation in practice. He's got a toe injury he's dealing with. Limited in practice. Moving on to that. Dwayne Brown, but it's just what he does. He doesn't practice very much on Wednesdays and then doesn't practice Thursday at all. So he's one of those Allen Iverson kind of guys, I think.
Yeah, practice. We talking about practice? Practice.
Yep. Chris Carson was limited. He's still nursing that foot issue. Same with Carlos Dunlap. Foot issue he's nursing, limited in practice. And then wide receiver DK Metcalf did not practice. They called that, it was load management, which I imagine is like a pitch count because the dude looks like he can lift up a load. I doubt he needs managed in that regard. Dude is strong. And then we're going to the guys that did not participate in practice. Guard Phil Haynes, groin injury. He's strained. He's not playing. Brandon Shell, still having that ankle issue. We'll see what happens with him come game time. I'm not certain he's going to play. Demarius Randall has a foot injury he's dealing with. Micah Potty, Ayu Potty, however you want to say it. I'll say it however he wants me to. I'm just not sure how he wants me to. He is not, he sat out practice with a neck injury. And then Jaron Reed is limited as a chest injury. No idea what the injury is. Just, it says chest, pretty limited or pretty vague. So that could be anything. And then we got DJ Dallas. DJ Dallas is not there. Thankfully, he did not break his leg. It looked pretty bad whenever he got carted off. But DJ Dallas has a grade 3 ankle sprain. He's probably going to miss the rest of the season, but at least he'll be there. I mean, at least it's not broken. So, and that's it for the injury report for the Seahawks right now.
All right. There was a press conference by Dwayne Brown. Dwayne, they were talking about your practice.
Franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we're talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
I think Allen Iverson was his inspiration to become a pro athlete.
Apparently. Oh, hey, my right's here. Anyway, while the alarm is going off, everybody's going crazy. It's a crazy time right now. But while the alarms are going off here, I will go ahead and take a look at what the weather's going to be by turning to a guy living in England. It's time for 12-Man Fan Jam Show Weather and Fashion Report with Matt from merry old England. Oh, Matt.
It's raining man.
Yes, thank you, Moses. Well, it's Christmas time. The Pacific Northwest. In fact, it's Christmas time everywhere. But specifically in the Pacific Northwest, it should be a story of festive snow scenes, of ice-capped mountains and frosty cold mornings with snowmen in the yard. But this is the Pacific Northwest, and so therefore expect none of that. Nope. This game looks to be cloudy. Cloudy at kickoff, cloudy at halftime, and cloudy at the final play. Absolutely nothing festive about that whatsoever. The temperatures will be a cool 47 degrees Fahrenheit or 8 degrees centigrade for those of us who can actually find our own country on a globe without using Google. And it's a little bit warmer than it was in Washington. Washington, if you remember, was about 4 degrees centigrade, 40 degrees Fahrenheit. This is slightly warmer, so hopefully a little easier for the players. Now, what to wear for this game? Well, the game is after Christmas, technically. It's on Sunday, so of course the most obvious thing to do is to lurch to the next over-commercialised pagan-based festival. So that's right, we're going to go for Easter. And looking at the runways and catwalks of Paris and Milan, I've already spotted the occasional use of faux rabbit fur. So you could emulate this on your own sofa, being dead on trend, by throwing on that Easter bunny costume that you've been saving for special occasions. But if you're not quite ready to put Christmas back in the loft, it really is your last opportunity to wear that hideous Christmas jumper you've got stuffed at the back of your closet all year. You know, right at the back. Near that lime green Hushmanzada jersey that you've got. Right at the back.
Who's that?
I don't know. I'm sure Will has one.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
I'm sure he does.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
He does. So just remember to throw a Hawks jersey over that and you should be good to go. Or you could just wear a Seahawks Christmas jumper, which is what I will be doing on Sunday. With all that being said, oh, and by the way, if you are going to wear your Christmas jumper on Sunday, then do put a picture in the Facebook. Let's have a look at it. I've got to see how bad it is.
Yeah,
with all that being
game
said,
day thread, yeah.
Absolutely. It looks like it's going to be perfect Seahawks weather. So Moses, it's back over to you.
I cannot wait to see that picture of the Seahawk jumpers in our game day thread. That's going to be so exciting.
Or Easter Bunny outfit.
You can Easter Bunny outfit, which is even better.
You can do that too.
Yeah. Even better. Thank you so much, Matt and Dustin, for those wonderful reports.
You're welcome.
Yes, indeed. You're welcome.
And now, please be upstanding and welcome our own Reverend Moses from the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity for his sermon for this upcoming game. Oh, Reverend.
Yes, it is I, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church Seahawk Positivity. How is everyone this evening?
Doing fine, thank you, Reverend.
Well, thank you so much. The Hockaday season is indeed in full swing. And we here at the church are gearing up, as we do every year, for another great season of holiday giving. And of course, Yolanda, the church organist, and I have been busy finding gifts for those little ones in the congregation. Well, all of them except that little brat, Timmy Slayton, you know, that little boy. He had the nerve to ask Seahawk Claus for a cheese hat. A cheese hat! Yeah, well, he's going to get a hat. Hat filled with sauerkraut, that little jerk, but I digress. Friends, it's truly a time to be given gifts. And as we give thanks for the glory that is given us in the name and the power of Seahawk positivity, but it is not time to rest, for there are many tough battles left on the road to the promised land. Reading a book from the NFL season, chapter 15, verses 3 to 12. For there were still many battles left to be won, so they did return home. And there for them were those from the land of Lala. Those lambs did descend upon the land, and they wanted to take what is ours. So in the name of Seahawk positivity, we did rise up and smite those lambs, and they were sent home defeated. And there was much rejoicing in the land. Yes, this is the word, my brethren. We have a power that flows within us all. Can you feel that power, Seahawk positivity? Raise your hands if you feel that power. Go on. Raise them up. Raise them like you're about to slap your neighbor upside the head for having a car alarm go off. Raise them high. Now, if your hands are raised and you believe in the power of Seahawk positivity, that's here and I'm in nice and loud.
Amen, Reverend.
I pray for them. They're going to burn in hell. If you believe in the power to give our defense the ability to make Jared Goff feel like he has coal in his stockings and in his pants, let's hear it. I'm in nice and loud.
Amen.
If we believe in the power to give our offense the ability to score more than Sean McVay at a Cougar convention, let's hear it. I'm in nice and loud.
I'm in.
The girls like him. They do. Yes! That's the power. Now put your hands down. We are loud and proud, my 12s. This team is coming to our town to keep us from winning the division, please. Ram stands for really ain't much to see. Telling people to ram it. That's not right. That song, it needs to go. It's disgusting. Cleolanda, play us something different, honey. Get on those keys and play us out like it means something.
Just ram it.
That a girl. This has been South Point Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church Seahawk Positivity. Go forth. Go forth and spread the good word of Seahawk Positivity. Praise Largent. Praise Cortez. Praise Walter Jones. Praise Kenny Easley. Go Hawks. And we'll be right back. This is the end of the third quarter. Start of the fourth quarter. We will come back with the fourth quarter. Our predictions, our prognostications, our game balls for the game between the Seahawks and the Rams. We'll be right back after this quick station identification.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
Let's see there, little boy. How are you? Okay. Now tell me, does your doo-doo not stand up when your wife's hoo-ha walks by? Santa Claus!
There's nothing wrong with my husband's penis.
Oh, Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
I'm sorry, Santa, but we don't want any children, so screw you and the deer you rode in on. Take your presents and leave.
Holy shit, it's the fourth quarter.
Hey, look, it's the fourth and final quarter of this episode of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show. In this quarter, we're going to make our game score predictions, prognostications, and, of course, our game balls for the upcoming game between your Seattle Seahawks and Los Angeles Rams. 4:25 Eastern Standard Time, 1:25 on the West Coast, and 9:25 in merry old England. Seahawks are 1.5-point favorites going into this game. The over-under will be at 47.5. I remind you that those are given strictly for entertainment purposes. Don't use those numbers or anything we ever say on this show. Ever. Seriously. All right. Let's go to predictions first for Team 12. Little Mo said, and I quote, 27-24, Metcalf shits on Jalen Ramsey.
Oof.
And DK Metcalf does DK Metcalf things. And then he said, dab liddy nay. I don't know what that means, but I'm supposed to say it. 2 touchdowns for Metcalf. That's his prognostication. Metcalf game ball. Jose. I can see the Rams killing us after being embarrassed by the Jets, but the West is on the line, and I trust the team to get the win. 27-23. Prognostication: Hawks get 2 turnovers. Game ball to Jamal Adams. Mike, to Will's ongoing observation, it's 2020. Each of the teams were beaten by NFC least losers. We bounced back handily after ours, but this time the Lambs have to try it against the division better. I'm not going to tell him it's the AFC East, but we'll move on. Good luck with that. They also don't have Mr. Motivation as their coach, so look for Jared. Stop calling me Jack off.
Oof.
Did not see that one coming.
Wow.
To struggle against our improving defense. Hawks 27, El Lame 24. Game ball to the Avenging Adams. Prediction, I wanted to say Goff picked off just for the rhyme, but instead I want to see DK score 20 or more yard touchdown. Happy holidays. Happy holidays, Mike. Mark, biggest game of the year. On Sunday, we need to force Goff to make mistakes. Hawks 21, Rams 20. Game ball to Dunlap, who is a terror on Goff. Tight ends will score all 3 touchdowns. I like that. That's original. Carrie.
Oh, man, I was going to go that route.
Well, you can do it. Carrie, holy shiznit. What? Questions, my friends. Do we like a hot start that falters and make us all clutch our pearls? Or do we like a slow start that heats up and makes us all clutch our pearls? 6 of one, half dozen of the other, peeps. Coming off another close one makes me think it's going to be another close one. I say Seattle 24, Lambs 21. I waffle between a 3-point game and a 1-point game, but either way it's going to be so close. My lazy bleep prognostication from last week stood. I'm not even sorry, because we're not running our arses off before the game, and I don't think we're going to be able to run our asses off again. My wall of spaghetti this week is that, and I'm giving her this one because she has a rationale, DK refuses to be taken down by Jalen Ramsey. He had 28 yards receiving against Ramsey in their last time, so her prediction is DK gets at least 50 receiving yards against him this game. I'm going with that. My game ball goes to Metcalf this week. As a Seahawk fan for life, born in the land of lambs and living in the former home of the Lambs, bring home the division, my brothers, and seal the deal. Jimmy, the Hawks have unfinished business with the bearded clams. Hawks take this one 27-23. Prognostication 4 sacks for the defense. Player of the game, Carson. Team Posse, Chris, Spalding, back-to-back win. And although this was closer in score, it was great to see us pull out a win against top 5 D. Matty stopped snickering. Because he said D.
I don't know what he means.
We now return home with playoff football confirmed and a chance to seal up a home game against the division. It's time to face the Rams and seal our place at the top of the NFC West. I think we'll see another game where we ram it down their throats. It's Mr. Carson, and then we see Russ serve up some sexy deep balls to the likes of Lockett, Metcalf. On the opposite side of the ball, Seahawks will look to stop the quick passing trickery of the Rams to put pressure on Goff, and we know he falls under pressure. Watch my game ball, Tyler Lockett, shut down some of the rumors that are about with a big game, and watch as the Seahawks have 200-yard receivers in this game, his prognostication. Wow. Be a close one, but the Seahawks come away with a win, 28-23. This is the way. Andy, Seahawks 31, Lambs 24. Prognostication, Hawks will rush for over 150 yards combined. Game ball to Adams. Dustin, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. I got to keep forgetting my mic is muted, but other than that,
okay.
doing well.
Hey, you're here. We're good.
This is why we're doing the show until we get it right.
That's right. We 196 times. One day we will get it right.
Eventually.
What you got for us, sir?
All right. This kind of Metcalf heavy is what it sounds like from a lot of those.
Hey.
That's where I'm going too, though. He's going to get a game ball, and I think he's also going to get some payback against Rose. He's not going to let last game. He's not going to forget about it. I'll put it that way. I guarantee you, he's been looking forward to this to get a chance to go at him again. I'll say he's going to get 2 touchdowns, and the Seahawks are going. That's my prognostication. And scores are right in the same range I was thinking too. I'm saying it's going to be 27-24 Seahawks. It's not going to be easy because Seahawks don't do easy, so it's going to be close.
No, they don't. Sadly, but true. Thank you, sir. Hi, Will.
Hi, Moses.
How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Happy holidays. If I don't, I'll talk to you before then. But what you got for us?
Bah humbug to you too.
What you got for us?
Well, it's funny. All my game ball choices, my prognostication, and my score were all picked. So I'm just making up new stuff on the fly.
You can still do it, you know.
Where's the fun in that?
Yeah.
So I'm going to tweak my score a little bit. I'm going to say Seahawks 28, Rams 25.
Ooh.
my prognostication, I've predicted this a few times, and sooner or later it's going to happen, so why not now? I think we're going to see a defensive touchdown, and in fact, I think it's going to come at the hands of a pick six, thanks to Pro Bowler Quandre Diggs, who will be my game ball.
All right. So your prognostication is defensive pick six. We hope it's Diggs, and then Diggs is your game ball. Gotcha. Matt.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing over there? All right.
Well, it's officially Christmas Eve here.
Oh yeah.
We're ahead of you, so I can wish you all a very happy festive season.
Yes, and to you as well, sir.
I can tell you that Christmas Eve so far looks dark and wet.
Yeah. Well, the 23rd looks awfully dark from here too.
So basically 2020.
Yeah, dark and wet.
Yeah.
I digress. So the score I'm going to go for is he's ramming it again.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's fine. Seahawks 38, Rams 31.
All right.
Game ball I'll give to Metcalf because everyone else has, and I agree with them. Prognostication. I don't know if you remember back at the very beginning of the season, way back when we only had one strain of COVID, and way back.
Yeah.
I said that we would score more than half of our games we score on our opening drives. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That wild prediction. Well, I'm gonna have to keep going if we're gonna achieve that. I'm gonna have to start putting some faith in it. So I'm gonna say my prognostication: we will score a touchdown on our opening possession.
Nice. I like that. All right.
Welcome.
All right. Well, I guess it's my turn, huh?
It's your turn now. Yep.
Is it my turn?
Yes. That would help. Yes.
Well, okay. Only because you asked for it. The Seahawks went to Washington last week and won fair and square. No recount needed against the Washington team that is definitely missing more than a team name. I haven't seen a bigger win in Washington since all the overturned lawsuits in our election were shot down like the ugly flightless birds that they are. But I digress. This is the season of giving gifts, and Seahawk Claus seems poised to place an NFC West title under the tree at the VMAC. But this won't be an easy path. The Rams come into town looking to play Grinch and take Christmas away from our beloved Seahawks, led by quarterback Jeff, do I have COVID if I have a bad Goff? On offense, the Rams struggled against the lowly Jets last Sunday with only 300 yards of total offense, which is disappointing to Rams fans as getting new underwear for Christmas. The Rams are more of a defensive team where they rank number 1 overall, led by Aaron Donald. Call me Donald Duck and I will eat your children. They are number 1 against the pass, number 2 against the run, and number 1 in opposing offensive linemen crapping their pants when they have to line up against Aaron Donald on third down. This looks like a scary defense for the Seahawks. But we all know, with division title on the line, big players make big plays in big games. And when you have a team that has to ram it, you know they're going to get rammed. Watch our Seahawks! Show the NFL that this is our time of the year. Watch my game ball, DK Metcalf. Yes, I'm taking him too. Have 2 touchdown passes. Yes, I'm doing that too. And watch our Seahawks win by a score of Seattle Seahawks 27. Los Angeles Rams 20. Ram it, Rams. Book it. All right. I feel better.
Booked.
So booked.
It is booked.
Well, look, it is time to bring another holiday season wonderful and amazing 12-Man Fan Jam show to a sad close. We hope you, we're glad you decided to waste some time with us. We hope you learned something, laughed a little, maybe. What did we learn? We learned that Haskins had a strip sack this week. We learned if Matt had $1 every time, he'd be a rich man.
I'd be a really rich man.
Yeah, and we learned how to ram it. And we learned how to slow clap because we're playing the Rams. And we learned that maybe Moses' gifts aren't always real. But his thoughts are.
Yeah, I hope you guys get better gifts than those, by the way.
It's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
So on behalf of my partner in crime, Matt, our Newsound Shadowhawk Will, Statsman Mark, wherever he may be, Dustin as the Beaver, Roger Goodell, Mozette, Little Mo, Jimmy, Chris, Jose Carey, Mark Ty Turner, Andy Northern Hawk Kona, Mike Pascal, Jack Youngblood, Vince Ferragamo, Flipper Anderson. Good night, everybody, and go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Slow clap it out.
Clap it out. Let's have it out.
Ram it, Will.
Let's go and get a division.
Let's do it.
Woo.